Quick question. Is it better to live in an apartment or a house in an SHTF scenario? Let's talk about it. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Please take the next couple seconds to give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel so you can get more content and have more conversations like this. Now that we've said that, houses or apartments? Which one is better in an SHTF scenario? Now there are pros and cons to both, right? Let's take a look at apartments right now. Let's start off with the apartment community. And this is just my opinion, some experiences I've had living in apartments and houses, and also working in apartments. I probably worked in about 30 different apartment communities in Texas. That's where I'm from. And that's where I gather some of this information. So in an apartment community, you have to remember, and I actually had to take some notes here, so just so I can remember everything, right? So in an apartment community, most times you don't really get to know your neighbors. Think about this. Most people that live in apartments, they go to work, they come home, they go to work, they come home. And usually when they're at home, for the most part, they stay inside, right? You don't see them outside doing, lawn maintenance or home repairs or anything like that, because that's taken care of by the apartment management and apartment maintenance, right? You don't see them, as much jogging or having garage sales or birthday parties or a lot of outdoor activities. You just don't see that. So what that means is it could be a little more difficult for you to know who your neighbors are, and also find out who are the like-minded neighbors, who are your preppers and your patriots. It's just very hard to know when you're living in apartments. Now, also with apartments, you're more likely to, I would say it's easier for you to bug out if you have to. Why do you ask? Well, when you're in an apartment, you haven't, first of all, you don't own it. No matter how much rent you pay, you still don't own it. Also, you probably had to pay a deposit maybe to lease the apartment, which may not be a whole lot. I mean, it could be 1,000, could only be 500, whatever, or it could be zero. I don't know. But generally, it's not like you spending your life savings to get inside or to lease an apartment. Also, let's just say when you bug out, catastrophe happens. If that entire apartment community burns down, first of all, it would be sad, and you definitely want to, pray for the other people that are there. But if everyone's okay, it's not going to hurt as much. It's going to hurt, don't get me wrong, but it wouldn't hurt as much as if your house burned down, or if your house got destroyed due to vandalism, or squatters, staying inside of your home when you're bugged out your way, right? So to me, it would be a little bit easier to jump up and just bug out at a moment's notice when you're living in an apartment, because you don't have the attachment to that apartment as you would a house, all right? Now, when you look at houses, usually you live in a neighborhood, and the majority of the homes in this country, they're in subdivisions, and most of them, the lots are not big. I mean, literally, if you walk out your door, go to the right and walk about 12 feet, you're probably in your neighbor's yard. Let's be honest. With that in mind, when you live in a house in a neighborhood, you have a little bit more opportunity to get to know your neighbors. They're gonna be able to hold garage sales, You know, there are going to be more community events. You're going to see more people jogging, you know, riding bikes, having birthday parties, you know, things of that sort. So it's going to give you more of an opportunity to go out and find out who your preppers are and who your patriots are. Now, I can say this. Most preppers, it's not like we're going out advertising that we're preppers. So you really have to pay attention. But you will be able to do that more so if you live in a house than in an apartment, right? Now, also, here's the thing with a house, you really don't know how you actually came to get that house or to acquire that house. Is it something that you spent your whole lifetime saving for? Is it something that you inherited from a deceased loved one? Or did you actually maybe physically build your home? I mean, brick by brick. You got your hammer and your nails and your saws, and you went out there and put up every wall, laid down every floor, installed every window. Now think about that. And the reason why I said that is because it would probably be a little more harder, a little more difficult to just abandon that house. See, unlike an apartment, you own that. You built it with your bare hands. It would be more difficult to just bug out. Now, it would also be easier to, I guess you can say, stay or bunker in, I guess you may want to say, because you have land and you have a little bit more space. Most homes are bigger than apartments. And you also have the community around you. Your neighbor to your right, your neighbor to your left, your neighbors across the street, your neighbors down the street. Because when you live in a community, in a house, you get to know your neighbors more. Therefore, you're able to come together and strategize, you know, what you all would do in an SHTF scenario. You know, where would you meet? You know, where would you hide? Who would defend what? Who would bring what supplies? In an apartment, chances of that happening, not as likely. So in my opinion, if you're looking to basically stay in and defend your property, a house is better. Now, when it comes to bugging out, I think an apartment is better because you don't have the attachment to an apartment as you would in a house. That's just my opinion. What do you all think? Would you rather be living in an apartment in an SHTF scenario or a house? Please leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. Once again, please give the video a thumbs up and please subscribe to the channel. And as always, get ready, stay ready. God bless.